desse país. Que ou amanhã eu estou viajando, mas o meu coração está ficando em Canadá.
The energy you have in this moment on thinking the best for all people in the world. This is your sincerity. This is your power, the power from your heart, the equilibration for your mind, and the thank you, John of God.
Eu estou indo para o Brasil para cumprir minha missão que Deus me confiou. Mas eu volto às vezes que for necessário, que a sociedade de Canadá me convidar. Estou indo, mas o meu coração e os bons espíritos que cubra esse país com o manto sagrado de Mãe Maria Santíssima. E a paz de Deus que esteja com todos. Meus irmãos que acreditam nesse grande arquiteto do universo, esse que fez a natureza, esse que fez o amor, esse que fez a verdade, esse Deus Todo-Poderoso, quem acredita e quiser entrar para receber sua limpeza espiritual, a sua operação, pode entrar aqui em nome de Deus. Eu tenho certeza que vocês vão levar a cura de vocês e a paz de Deus que esteja com todos.
Neste caminho, entre escolhas sem fim, neste caminho, entre a fé e a descrença, ouço sua voz
of spirit, and your body love God for all things you have, the best of the best. Remember forever, your spirit don't sick, don't old, and don't bad. And believe in God and the Spirit. Believe.
While I was receiving the blessing, the entity at the very end, he said, if you'd like to open up your eyes, the fellow that was walking with the walking stick, the entity said that he would never ever need a walking stick again, and he walked out of the room.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Or hobbled. But
That's okay, that's a start.
Yeah.
That is a start.
We're standing in the line waiting to go into the crystal beds. We're supposed to be quiet. So I'm talking at a whisper. It's all part of our group. Shh, be quiet. Look. Okay, day 3 completed with Jean of God, or medium Jean. And wow, wonderful experience. Sitting down here in the lobby right now talking to a few people who also had a remarkable experience. Maybe somewhere along the way I might be able to get them on camera and say a few words or so. Just spectacular, spectacular. In fact, I should just interrupt while they're here and see if by chance they want to say something. So let's check in.
Excuse me, Shara and Dan. Just, if by chance, if you all would be kind enough just to share what you felt today, yesterday.
Honestly, what I felt in this experience coming to Toronto and being part of the energy that was created by the entities flowing through John, who then became John of God, allowing the Spirit to flow through him, is just the amazingness of the joining of so many souls and reaching for something higher than all of us. And it's such an individual journey for each soul that came here, yet collectively we united ourselves and the world. And this, ultimately, I think what I come away from this experience more than a personal, but more on a global thing, is that love and peace and harmony is occurring now. And this is going to lead to a higher consciousness of the world, which is what we all need, and this is where the world will see and feel the transformation that is so needed in our world today. So for me, my personal experience was just the total awe of seeing the beauty and wonder of our Creator, God, however you see him or her, working. And it flowed through all of us here, and it continues to flow as we all disperse to our various areas in this world. John of God goes down and continues to serve millions and millions of souls. And it's just, it's energy spreading around the world, and ultimately it's love, because it boils down only to love.
Beautiful.
So it's an amazing journey, and it was such a joy to share it with so many beautiful souls.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Hi.
She's very eloquent. I'm nowhere near this. I'm on the opposite side.
Whatever you feel.
I'm a beginner.
No, that's okay, sweetheart.
What did I get out of this? I think I came in having no expectations, and I came in wanting to experience something beyond what I know, and it exceeded my expectations. I felt such energy, and I really tested it, and it was there. It was there within the environment. It was not there outside of the environment. It was definitely there within the environment. And I think I was saying to my father this morning, if I were to tell you what difference it made for me, is I learned everything is perfect the way it is. It's just fine as is. And that is a big deal for me to have learned. So how about you? What did you get?
Wow.
Can we turn it?
I guess
You
so.
want me to hold? Yes. All right. Is this running?
Yes.
All right.
What did I get from this? I too came with absolutely zero expectation. I was here, summoned here as support for my girlfriend, but as we know, there's always a higher calling. So I was summoned here to seek healing for myself as well. And again, what is healing? Healing is breath. So I came to breathe, again, with a cup half full. And in some cases, I could see many people who saw all of us walking around in white, saw us as potentially a Stepford Wives kind of moment. But they had no clue that we were seeking this purity, self-purity, however you want to define that. So seeing the number of nationalities, seeing what would seem to be an affliction, every person having, whether it be mental, physical, spiritual, they all came with the idea of feeling that energy, feeling the essence of this spirit who through a glance, through his, as we kept hearing, his surgical team, knowing that they potentially could do something so magnificent, they had faith. And faith is what really heals us. You know, you have to have faith in your breath. You have to have faith in that step. So recognizing that every step is guided by a breath, you now have to focus on your breathing. And that's something that my teacher, I study Kung Fu, and from this Shaolin monk, he would always say to us, focus on your breathing. And that made even more sense here, especially while lying in bed last night and I could feel this surgical team at work.
Oh, wow.
And at one point I felt like I was levitating in my sleep, and one of the spirits, he looked me in the eye and had conversation with me. I saw him in motion. It wasn't just a picture. I saw him, and he sat in front of me. He pointed right into my heart where I came from. And wow. Wow. What can you say? Like you said, you can't show people your bottle because many won't believe. I can't go home and tell everyone these stories because who's going to believe that? You know, you levitated in your sleep. Great dream. Right? But it's more than that, as so many people here have recognized. So I came to experience, and I'll continue to experience long after. Back to Brazil I go.
Was it your first time with John of God?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna say no, because I think after one's first introduction, whether it be online, which was really my first introduction, whether it be online or through a book, or you watched Oprah, or through a friend who mentions it to you, now it's implanted. And again, if you have it but a question, now the gates have opened. So that in itself led me to come. So first experience, no, I've watched so many videos of them before coming. Like, wow, man, the scalpel, huh? Wow, the scissors up the nose, huh? Oh man, this is gonna be rough. But I was open to it. As many of my friends who I told I was coming, they all said, don't let him put the scissors up your nose.
So you know what was the beauty of it? It was Diana's birthday on Friday, right?
Yes.
Happy belated
Yes,
birthday.
thank you.
And it was her first time in front of John of God.
Yes.
So that was quite a birthday present.
So it was divinely ordained,
Oh, bless you.
you know?
Bless you.
So it really was.
Wow. So did you feel like back on you now? Did you feel like this was your first spiritual time?
No, I've been experiencing spirit. My spiritual journey has been my whole life since childhood. So this was just a wonderful opportunity to connect with the other side.
Yeah.
Because these divine beings are surrounding us, even without the conduit of John as a channel, which is what he's agreed to in his divine journey here on earth. Being that beautiful channel, we have spirits around us all the time. He's just brought it more to a heightened awareness for us, which is really beautiful.
Did you hear that?
So it's a heightened awareness.
With poetry.
You know? So for me, it was just an individual personal journey that it just so happened and divinely came to an apex for me that it was my birthday. So it's like a reawakening, another opportunity of being further enlightened. So I've received that.
Yes.
And I'm ever so grateful to my Heavenly Father and great beings and angels and just all the amazing divine beings that surround us and whom we already are. We just need to increase our knowing. And that's what this is about.
Yes.
We're all increasing our knowing to the
Will it be safe to say you'll be going to Brazil?
I'll just have to see what the divine plan has out there for me. I'm so open to wherever I'm led.
Yes.
You know, whether it wouldn't surprise me. If he comes down to LA, that's going to be another hub of souls waiting for him to come and bring this higher energy down there. So who knows? He may make it to LA before I make it to Brazil. So I'm so open wherever I'm led to go. So to say yes or no, I just
wouldn't do the moment justice.
Yes, I'm just there to be wherever I need to be.
Yeah.
But this has just been, and you've touched me, and Char's touched me. I mean, connection. We connected. We're one, anyways. We keep hearing that we're one. We're one. But when we have that opportunity to be a part of that current, as they called it here, of the oneness that we already are a part of, it's truly amazing. It's truly amazing, and many, 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 many more souls will be brought to this. Many more souls. Especially with Oprah. I mean, what's beautiful about his meeting with Oprah is now he's being exposed to people, millions around the world, and so many people use her as a credible source. So if she says, go to him, he's amazing, many people on her word alone will go
Makes
to him.
her the medium herself.
So it's growing.
Yes, definitely.
Credibility, that's what our world runs on. So, so that's another beautiful, thing. And Dr. Wayne Dyer, who received a remote healing from leukemia, you hear, and I'm sure other people will be coming of note and credibility that will come along and further substantiate it. But ultimately, regardless of all that, it's our own personal experiences because the credibility is within ourselves. So it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Thank you for sharing.
And it's and it's beautiful to be a part of this world family. because the world is my home, and every country that exists has always been my country. Mother Earth, I always consider ourselves earthlings. We're not humans, we're not American or any other nationality, we're earthlings. All of us
Absolutely.
earthlings. You know, let's get rid of these boundaries.
Yeah.
We're earthlings.
First things first, get rid of the boundaries.
Yes, get rid of the boundaries.
Yeah. Which
there
is
are
what
no
this was
boundaries.
teaching as well. You
Yes,
gotta let go of
absolutely.
boundaries.
Love, 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 love. It's the only thing we need to concentrate. Love. Amazing. It really is.
Now, something was just mentioned a moment ago about the voices. I'm gonna go over to you now.
Nothing to say.
We were just
No
speaking
comments.
about the essence of writing poetry, and some keywords were mentioned that you hear the voices in your sleep. Very same thing that was just suggested in hearing this calling. And you have the calling of these voices talking to you at your most, I don't want to use the word
Unconscious
vulnerable,
moments.
subconscious. Subconscious.
Yeah.
But so open to this divine message. So I personally, as a writer, as a poet, as an author, would ask that you listen to those voices, because I know divine already lives within you, that you allow those voices of divinity come through you as well, because we're all mediums in our own way, and you would do those voices a deep injustice, because they come to you for a reason. Am I putting you on the spot by saying this to you? Wow.
But you are. And you know it. But go ahead.
Please let them go. Let them live through you. Let them breathe.
I tell you, if one of them introduces himself as Walt Whitman, I shall be writing that.
Wow.
If you can only channel Walt Whitman, amazing.
Something tells me you just might be.
I hope
You never
so.
know
That'd
till
be
you write
great
it down.
fun. That would be great fun.
You never know
I
till you
love
write it.
poetry. I just love poetry. I wish that I could write poetry, but I equally enjoy reading it and hearing it. I think it is the most beautiful way of simply expressing our state of being. Poetry is just simple, to the point, and beautiful, because the use of the words is just
You know, there's
fabulous.
a book written by a very fully illumined soul named Paramahansa Yogananda. And one of his writings, he calls it Song of the Soul. So perhaps poetry is each individual's song of their soul.
I actually entitled it Songs of Freedom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Song of who?
Songs of Freedom.
It is. And it's your soul coming through. And everybody has a story to tell. Everybody
Yeah.
has a poem to write. Some follow that, such as yourself. Others are, more than likely, many of us are kind of scared to do it, you know. But yeah,
So
our
that's
soul
half
singing.
of me. Now the other half of me. You want to hear the other half?
Uh-oh.
Turn this thing off.
Should I turn it off?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
should I turn it
now.
off?
Yeah.
Photograph 2.
Hi. So what
Hi.
have been your experiences in your 3 times now?
This was my 4th time.
Number
and every
4.
time is the healing has just been miraculous. And I think whether you get a spiritual intervention or surgery or not, the healing is just, I mean, it's amazing. And it's not just physical, it's mental, emotional, spiritual. I've had some of the physical things have been like, first time I went, I was told I had asthma, and I think the asthma was just layers of emotional things where I thought I was coping and found out I wasn't coping very well. My dad, at that time, my dad had been diagnosed as terminal. He died. I switched, bought, sold the house, moved and did a 2 jobs, changed jobs twice in 2 years without a vacation, and thought I was coping well and was diagnosed with asthma, and came back and, everything's lighter, your system is lighter, no more asthma medication.
You mentioned
they had-
ovarian cancer.
And then at another time it was ovarian cancer. The cyst was not removed, but that was the only time I had a spiritual intervention. In my mind, I would think possibly it was cancerous and they removed that. I don't know, it doesn't matter, but I know that work was done.
Yes.
And when I went in 2011, I had a unknown head tremor that I had when I would get really, really stressed. At the time, I was not aware I was doing it, except my husband and son told me I was doing it. And that went away. I had improved eyesight. I've asked for help, like in emotional things, with dealing with anger or just being more open with love, that sort of thing. So the layers of healing is on many, many different levels.
Yes.
And there's always healing. And it may be something you feel right away. It may be something that you realize 2 or 3 months later, oh yeah, this is different, that sort of thing. But it's impossible I think, to be in that kind of a aura of healing and energy in everyone in the same vein and not walk away with something positive.
Absolutely.
And I think the hardest thing, especially for first-time people, is it's so abstract. And in our culture, it's not the way we're taught. It's kind of like a different way of thinking. You can't see it, touch it, feel it, that sort of thing. It doesn't happen. And I think it just opens up your whole perspective at how you look at things medically, just with life in general, with the abstract such as love or whatever.
Yes.
When my friend and I were in Atlanta, when it was our turn to go in front of him, they stopped the line and a reporter came out and did an interview, and we were there for the whole interview. And when you're standing there in front of him for any period of time, because normally it's a very quick movement, when you're there for a long period of time, it's like your heart is just enlarging and expanding, and you feel like it's going to burst, almost to where it's painful, but it's not. It's like electricity going up your arms. It's like the most tangible feeling of love if it had a tangible feeling. And I mean, I love my son, I love my husband, but this was just so intense. And when we walked away from in front of him, it felt like you were walking about a foot off the floor. It's the most amazing, outstanding thing that's probably ever happened in my life, to just feel that sort of thing. So you try, when it happens, and you just try to keep it and then go into meditation or whatever and just regain that spot of where you're at. So it's incredible. I also have an incredible dog story too.
What's your name?
My name is Smokey, is my nickname.
Smokey.
My given name is Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
And when I went in 2004, I think it was, I had a dog that had been diagnosed with the tumor, and the vet said, border collie, and the vet said, take it home and give it a good life. And it's like, it's already got a good life. But when I took my husband's photo, the dog was in the photo, and then I had a separate photo, which we gave to John of God. Although they said don't give him animal pictures, and that day he may have been St. Francis of Assisi, but he put the photo in his pocket. And
John of God put his photo
in the pocket. And a year later, the dog started to have some issues, and I took it in because I thought it may be congestive heart failure. And we did an x-ray, and the vet said, what have you done with this dog? The tumor is the size it was a year ago. It's unbelievable. So it's not only people but animals, and that's not to say everyone start taking their animals to John of God, but I think it just shows the extent of the healing. So,
Sneak them in the background of the picture.
yes. But it's phenomenal. I mean, and I think either people are open and receptive, or they're closed, and I think when people are ready for it, it comes to them, or they are taken to it. Absolutely. And they are receptive, and the rest is history, as they say.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing, Smoke.
And I'll show you a picture.
Yet another wonderful story that has been shared with us, and needless to say, there are countless, thousands, millions of other stories. I wish I could have shared every one of them with you that was here, but I think a few would suffice. So I'll be able to share your mind soon enough. So bless you. talk again. Peace. We're about to travel back to Chicago. Stitch marks on my cheek. One, two, three, 4, 5. So, I guess the spirit is still working. You can pick that up, but I can see it as plain as day. As they travel here, across, definitely no doubt about that, right? The healer. She took me to the river, wanting to baptize my soul. She said, once I'm submerged, beauty I shall then behold. How cold the current she makes me feel so warm. I hear her voice while I'm underwater saying, now you will be reborn. There will be no storm that you cannot weather. Believe in the Almighty so we can walk this path together. She pulls me out and I immediately try to catch my breath. With God's image singed into her eyes, she asks me if I accept. Yes! Oh God, yes! I tried to verbalize, but instead I was met with the depths of this river so ancient and filled with such mysteries. It runs through the heart of the land and into the deep blue seas. As I choke on the water, I'm lifted again. When it's time to face the Maker, His Son shall return to cleanse you from all your sins. She said with thunder in her voice, remember while walking the path, you always have a choice. Do you believe? She asked once more. My heart expanded as I was once again lowered. This time I emerged a tad bit slower, feeling wiser, for I read the messages written in molecular structure, camouflaged by the essence of this body of water. Is this all that it takes to purify my soul? Well, I no longer feel like fragmented pieces, but whole. Once more I'm dipped into the abyss to read the sacred scroll. I felt a hand separating from me while assuring me I was in control. To the bottom of the river I would sink. Images rushed into my mind, giving me reasons not to think. Instead, just be free. Feeling the currents as they make their way to the sea. Just be. Just like the fish swimming alongside of me. Just be. I held my breath for as long as I could. When I resurfaced, this angel must have disappeared into the woods, or maybe she ascended into the clouds. I heard a voice in the distance saying, make us proud.
The sound of every creature in the forest then sang out loud, "You are with us now, spirit brother." This spirit who baptized me descended from the clouds and hovered. If you ever need me, my wings shall spread to cover and shelter you from all that might try to ensue, those reaping havoc and chaos while attempting to subdue. She said, I was the torchbearer, the forest's caregiver, humanity's appointed healer. Most importantly, she said, I was a soldier, a disciple, a warrior of God. The healer.